So today we'll be discussing questions of function 3. So let's start. So list the annexes of MAPOL and entry into force date. So हमें इसमें basically date याद करना है. जो annex 1 है जो 2 अक्टूबर 1983 है. annex 2 जो है वो अपना है 6 अप्रैल 1987. annex 3 जो है वो है हमारा 1992 और डेट याद नहीं क्या है. सॉरी, डेट है 1 जुलाई. ओके ठीक है, 1 जुलाई 1992. और एनेक्स 4 जो है सीवेज से रिलेटेड है और ये आया 2003 में 27 सितंबर को. एंड जो फिफ्थ है वो गार्बेज रिलेटेड है, पोल्यूशन कॉज्ड बाय द शिप्स गार्बेज फॉर्म. सो बेसिकली द डेट इज़ 1988, 19 मई, सॉरी 31 दिसंबर. ओके, 31 दिसंबर 1988 एंड लास्ट वाला अपना 2005 वाला है. ठीक है, 19 मई 2005 जो एनेक्स 6 जो आया हुआ है, रेगुलेशन रिगार्डिंग द प्रिवेंशन ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन फ्रॉम शिप्स. फिर उसके बाद आता है क्या क्या अमेंडमेंट्स आए हुए हैं मार्पोल के अंदर. तो मैं इसमें आपको ये पूरा पढ़ के नहीं सुनाऊंगा, शॉर्ट में बता देता हूँ तो आपको एक मतलब आपको बेनिफिट हो जाएगा मेरे वजह से थोड़ा. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एनेक्स 1 के अंदर आया है अमेंडमेंट की दैट there is a prohibition of the carriage of fuel oil, heavy fuel oil as a bunker or as a fuel. So it's totally prohibited. And secondly, in annex 1 only, the watertight integrity requirement says that the the water line should reach to the point maximum where it should have the maximum water line should reach a point, and it should always below the openings, so there should be no any kind of ingress of water inside it, and that leads to any kind of capsizing of the vessel. Basically what it says, in Asian water the ship must be designed so that the final position of the water line is remains below any. Okay, so this is the statement. And for annex, this is what we say garbage management, annex 5. It says that earlier it was that the vessel with 400 gross tonnage need to maintain a garbage record book, but now it's mandatory for a vessel with more than 100 gross tonnage as well. So a vessel of 100 gross tonnage also required to keep a cargo record book. Okay. Now annex 6. Also annex 6 says that the whatever that CEII and EEXI, all the like whatever the reporting values the ships required to report, the values has been amended in such a way that more more efficiency is increased and fuel consumption has been made reduced. Okay, so annex 6 is regarding the amendment regarding the amendment in attained value of CIN and EEXI. Sorry, see how it's written there. Next of EEXI and the rating values amended to Appendix 6 of MARPOL on reporting related to the implementation of the IMO short-term greenhouse reduction measure, including attained CI values of the IMO fuel consumption database. So this is and one more thing is that the Mediterranean Sea has been part of SOx and particulate matter. So SECA area for this. And one more thing, bunker delivery note, it should be mentioned that the flash point of the vessel of the bunker is almost above at 70 at or above 70 degrees Celsius. Now what is a oil tanker? A vessel which is designed or constructed in such a way that it will carry the oil cargo in bulk, and it also include the noxious liquid substances carrier, that is combination carrier, which as per the convention can load oil in bulk, as well as the gas carrier which can load oil in bulk, so which are included in oil tanker. Now what is oil? Oil is basically a hydrocarbon petroleum, which includes the crude oil, fuel oil, sludge, residue. Oil means hydrocarbon was it not used. Oil means petroleum including crude oil, fuel oil, sludge oil, residue and refined products. Okay. Nearest land is the land from which the nearest baseline is measured. Like nearest land is from where the basically what do we say, from the baseline The territorial sea of the question is established. The term from the nearest land means from the baseline from which the territorial sea of the territory in question is established. Okay, in accordance with the international law. En route means any vessel on a course that made a deviation from her course, that deviation from for the shortest direction, so that the whatever discharge she is making should spread over larger area. Right, en route means the ship is underway that at sea on an course including deviation from the shortest direct route, which is as far as practicable for navigational purpose, will cause any discharge to be spread over a great an area of the sea as is reasonable and practicable. Okay, now what is special area? Special area means a sea area where for recognized technical relations to its oceano and iconographic importance. Special measures, special area means a sea area where for recognized technical reasons in relations to its economical and socio-economic importance, and the something like that, yeah, means a sea area for recognized technical reasons in relation to its oceanographic and ecological condition and to a particular matter of a traffic consideration and particular character of its of the traffic, adoption of special mandatory method for the prevention of the pollution by all. Okay, now what is the instantaneous rate of discharge? The instantaneous rate of discharge is basically the rate of discharge per nautical mile divided by the speed of the vessel. It is basically discharge of oil in liters per hour at any instant. Discharge liters per hour at any instant divided by the, okay. Clean ballast is something, clean ballast is basically the ballast which is carried in a cargo tanks, but the tank has been so clean that the ballast which has taken is does not produce any kind of visible traces when discharged in calm water on the surface of the water, and does not produce any kind of discoloration. Again, was upon adjoining shore deposited beneath or the adjoining shoulder or cause a sludge or emulsion to be deposited beneath the surface. Okay, segregated ballast. Okay, now इसमें क्या है कि इसमें हमें फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड ऑफ द मशीनरी स्पेस एरिया, basically the vessel it's as per regulation 15, and it's for the non-tankers, and it says that the vessel should be en route, and the oily mixture discharge pass through an oil filtering equipment as per regulation 14 of Annex 1, and the oil content of the effluent without dilution does not be more than 15 parts per million, and if discharge is from oil tanker, then it does not originate from cargo pump bilges, and the oily mixture does not mix with the cargo residues of the tanker vessel. So this is the requirement. So what I missed is the one is so I have not missed anything from pump bilges on oil tank. So this is for same 14.7 is same as like, but only we have to mention like 14 instead of 14 we have to say 14.7, and it should stop if it more than 15. That's it. So basically now, if you are discharging from a oil tanker, and first of all the thing we should make sure that it should not be a special area, because on oil tanker prohibition is in special area, so it should not be a special area first of all, and you will be at least 50 nautical miles from the nearest coastline, and it says that the vessel should be en route. The total discharge rate should not be more than 15,000 per liter nautical miles. The total discharge quantity should not be more than 1 by 30,000 of the total carrying capacity of the cargo. That is, if you are carrying 30,000 tonnage cargo, then only 1 tonnage can be discharged. And it says that the vessel should have a oil control discharge monitoring and control system as per and slop tank arrangement as per regulation 29 and 31. I guess I'm missing something. Let's see what I'm missing is The tanker has an operational distance. I'm not missing anything here. The total does not 30 per nautical miles. Okay, so it is not 15,000. So I made a mistake. So we have to make sure like it's 30,000. Okay, and it does not exceed 30,000. Now it's the what is SOPEP. So basis SOPEP comes under regulation 37 of the Annex 1 regulation, and the SOPEP Shipboard Oil Pollution Prevention Emergency Plan is basically a plan which approved by the administration or the RO, recognized by any recognized organization, and it's a plan which is a ship specific plan. It says that the reporting procedure the master or the in charge has to follow in case of an oil spill incident, oil pollution, or it also consists of the action which has to be taken by the crew member in case of an oil pollution incident, and also consists of all the emergency list of point of contact in case of emergency, and it also consists of point of contact on board ship to point of contact on board ship to basically compact the operation with local and national authority. Compact the local and national authority. Okay, so this is all about, and it consists of all the basically what all equipments we are having on board right now. So it's consist in appendix. So this is the procedure and point of ownership for coordinating shipboard action with national government combating the pollutions. The details of we taken immediately person to reduce the content or discharge following the incident. Okay. The content of SOPEP manual basically preamble, reporting requirements, ship to control description, national and local coordination, appendices, and this is appendices contact vessel informations. Okay, so basically in appendices I missed something. Last one is SOPEP equipment. So content of SOPEP manual is like that. Appendices, and then equipment what all consists vessel information, oil response. Okay. So this is oil spill response equipment on board. So this is all worked. So what is IOPP? So IOPP का ये है कि this is IOPP is for the oil tankers of 150 gross tonnage above, and for non-tankers for 400 gross tonnage above. So International Oil Pollution Prevention Certificate issued to the vessels as per the regulation 1 of an annex as per the survey of regulation 1 of annex 1, and it says that it says that the vessel constructed designed as per the guidelines, as per the conventions, and it makes sure that the vessel has an appropriate plan to combat the operations, any oil pollutions, and it has a supplement for Form A and Form B. So in Form A is for the non-tanker, whereas Form B is for the tankers. Form A is for the construction and record of the equipment for non-tankers, and same for that. Form B consists of what all consists in Form A apart and extra additional informations, like for Form A is for the which consists of details such as पहले इसका complete कर लेते हैं कि okay, so I made a mistake. I said regulation 1. So this is regulation 6. So I made a mistake. The certificate signifies that the ship has been surveyed with regulation 6 of Annex 1 MARPOL, and the survey shows that the structural equipment, system fittings and arrangement and material of the ship and their conditions are in all respects satisfactory, and the ship complies with the applicable requirement of the annex. The applicable requirements of the annex. Okay. In addition to the certificates, a supplement to the IOPP carried a document the list the equipment covered by IOPP surveys requirement initial. So this is like whatever consists of IOPP and related to this MARPOL, we have to make sure that it will comprise of initial survey, renewal survey, intermediate survey. So it's very common. It consists of the certificates include have we seen on board, like it consists of basically the details of the ship, IMO number, net tonnage, gross tonnage, port of registry, owner's name, that's it. IMO number, yeah, okay. So, sorry, owner's name is not the name of the ship, distinctive number letter, this is IMO number, official number, and port of registry, gross tonnage, deadweight of the ship, IMO number, and depending. So, this is regulation 6. Then basically what it says, with regulation 6 of Annex 1 of MARPOL, okay. And so form, where it's gone, yeah, form A. So form A, it's here, which says that form A comprises of all the basically form A, the ship particulars, now the arrangement for equipments to control the discharge from oil fuel tanks and bilges and etc. And arrangement for the retention and disposal of oil residues from fuel tanks, and holding tanks, arrangement for the holding tanks, and for the and SOPEP plan equivalent, and standard discharge connection. So this is all included in form A, whereas form B consists of requirement is that double hull requirement for oil tankers, then subdivision damage stability criteria, then intake stability, then descriptions of pumping and piping, description of slop arrangement, description of crude oil washing, on SOPEP, and standard ship particulars, what all consist of in part. So where it is form B. So first of all, form A, what all we have missed. Form A, particular the ship equipment for the control distance from the bilges and oil fuel tanks. Fuel tanks from machinery space, of oil distance from machinery space, bilges, and for coily bilge water holding tanks, standard discharge connection. Now the contain the same information as form A as a plus construction segregated ballast oh yeah, this I missed. Okay, so it's very easy to remember, but I don't know how I missed. So segregated ballast, double hull and double bottoms, accidental outflow protections, in limitations of segregated ballast, double hull and double bottoms, accidental outflow protections, double hull and double bottom, accidental outflow protection, segregated ballast, double hull and double bottoms, accidental outflow protections, limitations of size and arrangement of the cargo tanks, limitation of size and arrangement of cargo tanks, limitations of size and arrangement of cargo tanks, limitation of size and arrangement of cargo tanks, segregated ballast, double hull and double bottom, segregated ballast, double hull and double bottoms, accidental outflow protections, intake stability, subdivision, damage stability, crude oil washing, retention of oil on board, pumping, piping and discharge arrangement, shipboard oil marine. Okay, so this is all about this. So now we will be discussing about record book. So every vessel of 150 gross tonnage above, oil tanker and non-oil tanker 400 gross tonnage and above, required to maintain a oil record book. Okay, this is for part 2. For part 1, every vessel need to require to have a part 1. So part 2 is only for the part 1 is for everyone. Oil tanker 150 above and every vessel of 400 gross tonnage and above. And part 2 is only for the oil tanker vessel of 100 and more than 150 gross tonnage. So it consists of details of, like, the first part 1 is as per the regulation 16th of Annex 1 of the MARPOL, and it consists of the details of the ballasting, deballasting of the fuel tanks, cleaning of fuel oil tanks, bunkering, loading, unloading, and cleaning of fuel oil tanks, and internal transfer of fuel oil tanks, then what we say, any accidental outflow, and any machinery spaces, bilges, discharge, which has to be recorded, and oil filtering equipment malfunction, which has to be recorded in the condition of oil filtering equipment. This is included in part 1. So ballasting, cleaning of oil tank, discharge of dirty ballast or cleaning water from oil filtering. Yeah, so I guess this I have missed. Collection and disposal of oil residue used. okay, discharge overboard or dispose otherwise of bilge water which has accumulated in machinery space, bunkering of oil field in all condition of oil filtering equipment. So this is all about your part 2. Part 2 is as good as same as that, but we have to just replace the cargo. So now coming to the special area. Special area is Gulf of Aden, Gulf of Aden and Gulf of sorry, Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, Baltic Sea, Gulf of Aden, then Gulf of Aden and Gulf something like that, and what we say, northwestern European waters and southern south of the African waters, and what we say, Gulf of Aden, Gulf of Aden and Gulf countries. I don't remember. Three names I am missing here. It is Baltic Sea, Black Sea, Antarctic and Gulf of Aden, and southern south बोल दिया था, Baltic Sea, Black Sea, Red Sea, Oman area of Arabian Sea. Oh यार. So basically what I missed is Oman area of Arabian Sea, Gulf of Aden, and Antarctic area. Okay. Now, so this is the working. I won't explain you because rarely asked by some surveyors. So it will take time, na? So the requirement for okay. So requirement for the slop tank arrangements. So whatever slop tank arrangement comes is as per the regulations of 31. It says that every vessel shall have a capacity of to hold should have a tank which at least have the capacity of 3% of the total cargo carrying capacity. Exception is there if like it can be a 2% for vessels having a eductors for the cleaning of the tank using the pre-arranged fresh waters, and 2% for all the vessels which are having a dedicated ballast tank or the crude oil washing arrangement, and for 1% for the combination carrier for like they are the whatever cargo they are carrying in a smooth walls. Okay, so वैसा ये वन स्मूथ वॉल वाला फंडा मुझे पता नहीं है क्या है, बस याद कर लिया. 2% was segregated ballast tank cleaning and used if washing is fitted. Okay. So what is VRP? VRP is nothing but it's a comprehensive document planned by arranged by the owner or the operator, and it's submitted to the administration, that is to the USCG, which approve the plan, which consists of basically if your vessel is basically it's a SOPA plan only, but the difference is major key difference is only the jurisdiction. SOPA is required by the all over the world, whereas this required VRP especially by the US Coast Guard, and if you are sailing in US waters. So basically comprises of the details of whatever port will be going, what just, and consists of emergency contact details which will be contacted in case of oil spill incident, and many more other details like name of the owner, name of the company, and other details. And VRP is basically authorized by is been surveyed and issued by the Coast Guard, and it basically come after the formation of OPA. And so OPA is authorized person. So what is OPA? Oil pollution incident 1990. There was an accident in 1989 of Exxon welders of oil tanker grounding, so which leads to lots of oil pollution. Around 19 billions of oil barrels were discharged. So after that, in 1990, the Congress of the political party of the US formed Water Pollution Federal Act. So after formation of this OPA came into 1990 Oil Pollution Act, which formed basically various requirement for the vessels operating in the US waters to avoid any such kind of incident further. So they formed OPA, which basically OPA then made mandatory that whichever vessel sailing in the US water required to have a vessel response plan, a proper response plan, and it also is the authorized person for the OLTF, for oil trust fund, basically oil liability trust fund, like in case of any catastrophic incidents occur in near future. So the person who is the victim of this will be getting money from this trust fund, and this trust fund gets money from whatever, basically a tax from the owners which are doing the business of this oils in the US waters. This is all about the OPA. You can read it. Now, what is vessel general permit? So, vessel general permit is basically formed by the Environment Protection Agency and US Coast Guard in US waters. Basically, it says that whatever interfaces, the equipment, the lubricant used in between the interface between the oil and water interfaces should be of environmentally friendly. That is, it should be a environmental uh, acceptable lubricants, and it should be non bioaccumulative and not and should be biodegradable and environment friendly. So basically example stern strip, thruster tube, seals. So this is all consistent in this. So on 19 December 2013, vessel was issued by Environment Protection Agency in United States. The VGP mandated the use of unacceptable lubricants, oil to water interface, stern tube, seals, thrusters, seals on the merchant vessel of 79 feet or longer than are sailing in coastal inland water unless technically infeasible. EPA indicate that every oil to sea interfaces has to use an environmentally acceptable lubricant. These lubricants are biodegradable, non-bioaccumulative, and minimally toxic. Okay. So the thing which I have missed here is 2013. So it came in 2013. Okay. Now we'll be discussing about noxious liquid substances. So noxious liquid substance is basically categorized in X, Y, and Z, where X is very highly dangerous. It's a major threat to the environment. So it's the so basically, if after discharging whatever the cargo left after discharging, after cleaning of the tanks, so it can't be discharged direct. It can't be, the discharge is prohibited directly, and in basically the ballast taken cargo tanks of which the tank which has carried X cargo previously is strictly prohibited, whereas in Y some limitations are there. It's and major hazards, but minor hazards basically, and justify present hazard, minor word we don't have to use. Okay, justify. And Z is minor hazard. Okay, Z is the minor hazard, so justify less danger, and OS is basically chapter 18 of this. So to have no marine. Okay, so this is which can be used. And what all the requirement? Requirement is same, like if you are not self-propelled, then it will be 4 knots and normally 7 knots, and the vessel should be en route, and the minimum distance from the nearest land should be 12 nautical miles, and the ship is proceeding en route. Minimum also. Okay, so I have to use, even though I am saying that the speed should have a speed, that definitely means the vessel is moving. But again, first of all, I have to make a statement that the vessel is en route. Okay, so the vessel is proceeding en route, 7 knot to 4 knot, not self 200 US9, and discharge below the waterline, minimum depth. Okay, minimum depth 25 meters, minimum depth 25 meters. So in Annex 2 of the MARPOL, Annex 2 of the MARPOL says that Annex 2 of the MARPOL says that it should have a cargo record book as per regulation 15 of Annex 2, and it basically consists of all the details just like your Annex 1, that ORB part 1 only. The only thing which you have to mention is the pre-wash details and all. Rest everything is same, mandatory pre-wash. Okay, unloading, transfer, accidental or exceptional discharges and all. Rest everything is same. PNA manual is basically a manual which is as per the regulations 14th of Annex 2, and is written with regulation 14 of Annex 2, and is concerned with the basically PNA manual is concerned with the whatever mandatory pre-wash you are doing and discharge of you are doing is environmentally acceptable. So it's basically consists of all the fittings, arrangements, and equipments in cargo handling, tank cleaning, crude oil washing. Sorry, not crude oil washing, cleaning of the tanks to assist the officers. So it's a PNA manual is just a specific plan. It is divided. PNA manual is divided into 4 annexes. So first is basically section 1. The PNA manual is consists of 4 chapters. Chapter 1 consists of all the details of the definitions which used in the manual, and part 2 consists of all the descriptions of the arrangement which we have on board for the discharge of the equipment of the cargo, and consists of the descriptions of the like what underwater outlet for the discharge and the discharge of the what we say piping arrangements. It basically consists of the dead details. Okay, now so section 3 consists of all the details related to the mandatory pre-wash and all. Okay, so and the last one consists of all the I guess I missed something here. Last one is the cleaning of the cargo tanks, discharge blasting. Okay, after mandatory pre-wash you have to remove that pre-wash whatever residue you have. So we have big for stripping purposes is consisted in this, and it's consisted in pre-wash. So last one is pre-wash. So third one is cargo unloading process and tank stripping. Okay, so this is the mistake which I made. So provide unloading and tank stripping procedure for ships personnel to follow under during loading, and 4 is procedure relating to the cleaning of cargo tanks, discharge of residue, blasting. Provides pre-wash guidelines. Okay, so substances allowed. Content of PNA main features of MARPOL 73, 78 Annex 2. All the regulation which apply to regulations and all, not the definitions and all. It's not about the asking about any kind of SMS. So it's basically PNA manual. Okay. Now what is SMPEP? We'll be discussing about shipboard emergency plan, shipboard marine emergency plan, shipboard marine emergency plan. So basically it's for the noxious liquid something, rest everything is same for the what we saw in SOPEP. Shipboard marine pollution emergency plan, shipboard marine pollution emergency plan. Okay, with respect to MARPOL holding tank sewage. So now what is the definition for sewage? So definition for sewage says that any kind of drainage from the toilet, urinals and any medical places, dispensary, wash basins of the medical places, and any drainage from where livestock are kept, any drainage from livestock are kept are considered as a sewage. Basically what all it consists of: drainage and other waste from any form of toilets and urinals, drainage from medical premises, washtubs couple located in such premises, drainage from spaces containing living organisms and the water when mixed with drainage. Okay, any other waste which mixed with the drainage is also considered as a sewage. Okay, holding tank means a tank used for the collection. So discharge of sewage is very good. Like it's very easy. Now what is sewage? So this is okay, so basically what is ship sanitization certificate is? Ship sanitization certificate is basically a certificate which is given to the ship, and its validity is only for 6 months, and issued by the port state and port authority, basically to avoid any spread of the vector diseases harmful for the human beings. And this is issued by inspecting the hygiene level of the vessel by checking for any mosquito, mice and other things, which basically the whatever hygiene level of the ship is met or not. So this, after that inspecting in this, the ship sanitization certificate is given. So what is written here is controlling the spread of international listed human disease by controlling any vectors of this disease that cause potential be carried on a vessel. This is by inspecting for and controlling animal vectors, preventing the discharge of untreated ballast water, checking certification of potable water and sewage, and biosecurity measures for human carriers of the disease. Ship sanitization control, exemption certificates for ships and control health issues. Okay. So कौन इशू करता है वो तो नहीं लिखा है यार. With Article 13 of International Regulation issued by the competent health authorities in authorized health authorities. Okay, after inspection, certificates remain valid for a period of 6 months. Okay, so now what is the garbage? Very kind of important question for some surveyors. So for garbage, it is says that for garbage, any kind of operational waste generated during normal routine of the vessel, domestic waste or any other waste, except the fish, victual, any I have to read here, I don't remember. Means all kind of victual, domestic and operational waste excluding fresh fish and parts thereof generated during the normal operation and liable to be disposed of continually or periodically except those substances which are defined or listed. Okay, means all kind of victual, domestic and operational waste excluding fresh fish and parts thereof generated during the normal operation of the ship and liable to be disposed of continuously or periodically except those substances which are defined or listed in. Okay, any kind of waste which is victual, domestic and operational waste, any kind of victual or domestic and operational waste excluding fresh fish and parts thereof generated during the normal operation and liable to dispose continuously or period except those substances which are defined in list. Okay, so this is very kind of not that much, but cargo received non contained fresh water starch permitted, but okay. Just a bit. So this is very easy, you can just have to go through the total. Okay, so garbage record. For garbage, the word we have to remember is Gamber, double B, okay, not double R, Gamber, and W. So this is for the remembering of your special area. So name is such that Gulf area, Antarctic area, Mediterranean Sea area, Baltic Sea area, Black Sea area, Red Sea area, North Sea area, wider Caribbean region. This is all about it. Now what is the garbage management plan? So garbage management plan is for the ships carrying more than 15% on board are required to have this with more than 400 gross tonnage as well. Required to make a garbage management plan. So now the question is, the new amendment says about the garbage record book but not about a garbage management plan. So we have to make sure like for 100 gross tonnage they do be required to have this garbage management plan. The question. Garbage, collection of garbage. Lane shall be written in the working language of the crew. Collection of the garbage, processing of the garbage, disposal of the garbage. So this basically, in collection we have to maintain what all the collection receptacles we have on board, and what we say, suitable receptacle, collection, separation, location of receptacle, collection, separation stations, transport from the source of generation to the collection and separation stations and separation stations. Collection of garbage, suitable receptacles and collection, separation, location of the receptacle, collection, separation stations, transport from the source of generation to the collection and separation stations. suitable receptacles for collection and separation, location for receptacles, collection and separation stations, transport from the source of generation to the collection of the segregated separation stations. Okay, processing of the garbage, person responsible for the operation of the equipment, processing of the garbage, पर्सनल रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर बेसिकली जहाज़ों पे देखा हो ओएस वगैरह होते हैं वही से इनसे काम कंप्रेस वगैरह करवाते हैं. सो लोकेशन और वो डिवाइस कहाँ रहता है नॉर्मली ना गार्बेज स्टोर रूम के आसपास ही रहती है. कैटेगरीज ऑफ गार्बेज रिकॉर्ड बुक गार्बेज प्रोसेस्ड बाय द इक्विपमेंट. हाँ वो ओएस वगैरह पहले ही बोल देते भाई बॉटल वीटल कोई नहीं डालेगा. सो कांच की बॉटल तो वही बोला है दैट द कैटेगरी ऑफ गार्बेज प्रोसेस बाय द इक्विपमेंट अवेलेबल. Handling of garbage between the primary stations and the storing and disposing facilities. Okay, now disposing of the garbage जो भी है क्या क्या रहता है साइन वगैरह उसमें क्या डेट टाइम पोजीशन ऑफ द शिप start and stop position from cargo residue discharges let long category of garbage. Okay, so category of garbage discharge estimated amount and signature of this. So this is when garbage is incinerated and any accident or other accident of discharge and when the reception facilities or any garbage discharge into the sea. Particular sensitive sea area. Particular sea sensitive area is a sea area recognized by the IMO for its socio-economic and scientific importance which may be harmed by the maritime industry activities. ऐसा कुछ है. For its ecological, socio-economic and scientific socio-ecological, socio-economic और scientific importance, this area may be easily harmed by it. Okay, ठीक है. Great Barrier Reef, Malpalo Island, Canary Island of Spain, Papua Guinea new entrance and the Jomard entrance of Papua New Guinea. Jomard entrance on Malpalo Island, Western European waters. Okay. Malpalo Island कोलंबिया में, ये याद रखना है ना. ठीक है. सो बेसिकली नॉक्स और सॉक्स का तो काइंड कुछ वो नहीं है, खास नहीं है. ठीक है. तो नॉक्स के लिए क्या क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है. रेगुलेशन 13. अच्छा ये मुझे पता नहीं था. रेगुलेशन 13 है. फॉर रेगुलेशन 13 करके एक है. एंड so whatever basically for the vessels which are come after 2001 2000 or 1st Jan and which have the diesel engine having a power output more than 130 kilowatt. So tier 2 and tier 3. Tier 3 is followed outside of the SECA area. Make sure whether it's somewhere. Tier 2 is somewhere outside of the SECA area and tier 3 is the river supply outside SECA area. Tier 2. Okay, tier 2 is for the outside of the SECA area. Okay, range is 44 and n is 0.23 and this is easy. Baltic Sea, North Sea, ये याद रखना है. Baltic Sea, North Sea, Baltic Sea area and North Sea area. Baltic Sea area, North Sea area. Baltic Sea area, North Sea area and Baltic area, North Sea area. So ये जो है सॉक्स के लिए बाल्टिक सी एरिया, नॉर्थ सी एरिया. बाकी तो अपने को याद है. ठीक है. वोलेटाइल ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड चैप्टर 3 रेगुलेशन 15 ऑफ वोलेटाइल ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड. ये काइंड ऑफ थोड़ा है. रेगुलेशन 15 इसके अंदर वोलेटाइल ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड ऑफ एनेक्स 6. volatile organic compound basically is volatile organic compound are very highly specialized substances and they are very highly volatile and non-solvent in water. Non-solvent and low solubility in water. Example formaldehyde, toluene, acetone. Okay. Basically it's their emissions in the open can lead to acid rains and all. Basically, required to ambiguous
The loading process should take into account the potential gases releases due to low pressure, and where possible, the routing of oil from crude oil manifold into tanks should be done so as to avoid or minimize excessive throttling and high flow velocity in the pipes. And high flow velocity in the pipes. 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 High flow velocity in the pipe. High flow velocity in the pipe. High flow velocity in the pipe. The ship should define a target operating pressure for the cargo tanks. This pressure should be as high as possible, and the ship should aim to maintain the tank at this level. When maintaining reduced tank pressure is reduced, and the pressure in the tank should be as small as possible to maintain the tank pressure as this high as possible. The amount of inert gas should be minimized. Increasing the tank pressure by adding in IG not prevent VOC release. It may increase venting and therefore increased VOC emissions. When crude oil washing is considered, its effect on VOC emissions should be taken into account. VOC emission can be reduced by shortening the duration of the washing or by using a closed cycle crude oil washing program. The ship energy efficiency plan. So this is हमेशा दिक्कत होती है, तो इसको मैं बेसिकली बिना देखे बोलने से अच्छा इसको मैं रीड करूँगा, ठीक है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट कुछ उतना हार्ड एंड फास्ट नहीं है. अब देख लो 60 पेजेस हो गए, और करूँगा थोड़ा 100 पेजेस हो जाएंगे 10 बजे तक. फिर उसके बाद हम लोग कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड ऑल स्टार्ट करेंगे. 5 मिनट का रेस्ट. So we were on ship energy efficiency management plan. The ship energy efficiency management plan provides a practical approach for ship operators and management companies to manage operation and fleet efficiency performance over time using energy efficiency operational indicator as a monitoring tool. The Ship Energy Efficiency Management Plan provides a practical approach for ship operators and management companies to manage operations and fleet efficiency performance over time using the Energy Efficiency Operational Indicator as a monitoring tool. The Ship Energy Efficiency Management Plan provides a practical approach for ship operation and management companies to manage the operation and fleet efficiency performance over time using energy efficiency operational indicator, that is EEOI, as a monitoring tool. The ship energy efficiency management plan provides a practical approach to ship operators and management companies to manage operations and fleet efficiency performance over time using the energy efficiency operational indicator as a monitoring tool. The ship energy efficiency management plan provides a practical approach for ship operators and management companies to manage operation and fleet efficiency performance over time using the energy indicator, and basically allows the ships to monitor carbon emission, which can be determined by the ship's fuel consumption in a particular voyage carrying a certain amount of cargo. Is a ship specific that must be implemented according to the type of the cargo carried and other relevant factors. Hence, SACMP cannot be implemented on company or fleet level. Key features of the benefit: enhancement of the ship efficiency, reduction in fuel consumption, and decreasing greenhouse gases. Describe the following. EEDI. Energy efficiency design is the technical measure, the tool that can be employed during the design and construction stage of the vessel, and measures the amount of CO2 emitted by the ship per capita mile, ton mile, or CO2 emission ton and mile. EEOI allows ships to monitor carbon emission, which can be determined by ship's fuel consumption in a particular voyage carrying certain amount of cargo. The formula to calculate EEOI is provided in EEDI technical file. EEOI EEOI or Energy Efficiency Operation Indicator allows ships to monitor carbon emissions, which can be determined by the ship's fuel consumption in a particular voyage carrying certain amount of cargo. The formula to calculate EEOI is provided in EEDI technical files. Okay, any operation allows the ships to monitor carbon emission, which can be determined by the ship. Okay, E and existing index do not by get setting minimum requirement for technical. Okay, carbon emission indicator is the time measure of the ship's energy efficiency in relation to the amount of CO2 emission produced per unit or transport of the work. The CI regulate the operational or real life CO2 emissions from the ships based on the annual fuel consumption, and 1st January all ships have to. Okay, this is all about. So we have completed our Marpol part. Okay, so now moving to the what we say codes, convention, and rest everything. So moving to that prior, so starting with the convention. So convention is basically a set of rules or agreement formed by the members of the IMO, and basically it forms after any kind of major incidents and major accidents. The member of IMO come and discuss about, and then they form a set of rules which comes into an agreement, so that becomes a conventions. And so what is written over here is international convention are agreed when number of countries which are member of IMO it feel that is a need of convention. Such countries meet together usually at the invitation of IMO and discuss the proposals and finally come to an agreement which is recorded in form final act of conference. Final act of conference word you have to use. Convention agreement set of rules that a particular matter, for example SOLAS for secretary and more than one conversation. ठीक है. What is code? Code is the basically and part of a convention itself. It is provide more technical aspects of the convention. Basically, like SOLAS says about the requirement for LSA and FFA. So this is the whole technical details in, not written in SOLAS. It's given in the LSA code. You have to refer for more details in LSA code. So that code becomes codes basically. So more details. And once the convention code on the other hand is a part of convention. It is quoted with the convention and is quoted within the convention. It provides technical aspects of ठीक है भाई. Now what is amendment? Amendment is basically and changes made in the conventions on a timely basis. So to make a pace with the rapid evolving technology in the shipping world, the regulation defined by the conventions are required to be amended. Update frequently. Okay, protocol is a major amendment which has to be incorporated. Major amendment which is incorporated or amended on when a major amendment is to be incorporated on regulation of the convention. Protocol is called among the countries. The Marpol 73, 78, 73 is a act which was passed in the convention, and in 1970 was passed was the protocol. What is Hong Kong Convention? Hong Kong Convention is aimed basically whatever vessels set to for the recycling consist harmful substances, so like asbestosis and many other harmful substances. So person working in dry dock and all where recycling of the vessel is done might get injured or even lead to fatalities can lead. So to avoid this, Hong Kong Convention came into force. It will came into force 26th June 2025. It mainly focused on the design, constructions and fittings of the vessels for the easy of and friendly way of recycling of the vessel without any kind of fatalities and hazards and such as asbestos on working environment condition. Many of the regulation the convention, the design, the construction, operation, preparation of ships of the safe and environment sound recycling without compromising the safety and operational efficiency of the ships. The operation of ship recycling facility in safe and environment sound manner, and the establishment of an appropriate enforcement mechanism for ship recycling incorporating certification and reporting requirements. What is green passport? Basically is a inventory list of all the dangerous cargo on board we are having. What is international? Came into force in 1966 and came into force in 1968. Okay, so it is 96 June. Okay, not 25, 26 June. And the Hong Kong Convention. Okay, so 96 June and this is 96 and okay 98. And what all the freeboard which we have to maintain consists of. So the second one will consist of Annex 2 will be cover zones, areas and seasonal period. Annex 3 contains certificate including the international load line certificate. And The last one will come verification of the compliances with the provisions of the convention. Verifications of the compliance with the provisions of the conventions. Verification of compliance with the provision of the conventions. Next is the verification of compliance with the provision of the conventions and of the convention. United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea serve as a comprehensive rulebook governing various aspects of ocean governance such as maritime boundaries, resource management, environment protections, and the dispute resolution. Its extensive coverage across the different maritime issues has earned its nickname Umbrella Convention and Global State. ठीक है यार. Territorial sea is the territorial sea up to 12 nautical and 24 nautical miles is the punish and infringement of fiscal, immigration, sanitary and custom laws with its territory and territorial sea. 200 ओके 230 कहाँ है इसमें 230 लोड लाइन मार्क्स होते हैं ना 25 ओके 540 और इसमें 3 लोड लाइन डिक्स 300 और होते हैं 300 डेक लाइन भी 300 होते हैं ओके हेड पासेस थ्रू द पसंद मार्जिन लाइन कहाँ ठीक है और फॉल कन्वेंशन कन्वेंशन ऑफ फैसिलिटी मैरीटाइम ट्रैफिक came into force 1967 adopted 1965. Okay, so facility maritime document simplifying basically formalities related to documentary requirement associated with arrival sent. Again, international it was originally developed to standardize the convention for the importance of authorities with the documents should adapt the standards documentation conducting. The annex of the convention rule book simplifying for department 12 documents: general declaration, cargo declarations, ship store declarations, crew fact declaration, crew list, passenger list, and dangerous good manifest, security related SOLAS, advanced information of custom risk assessment, advancement notification from waste delivery to port reception facility, as well as 2 documents required under Universal Postal Convention, international health regulations. Okay, from information for the advanced electronic cargo information for custom risk assessment facilities, as well as 2 documents required under the Universal Postal Convention. ठीक है. Now, what is Nairobi Convention? It's basically for the removal of the wreck in the states with cooperation of, it can be a sunken or stranded ship or any part of the sunken or stranded ship, any object that is lost in ship, and a ship that is, this is all come under it. Now, what is SOLAS? Basically, SOLAS can be the various chapters. We have to remember these. So, chapters starting general provisions. Okay, now construction, structure, subdivision, stability, machinery and electrical installation, construction, fire protection, fire detection and fire extinctions, then life-saving appliances and arrangement radio convention. This is verification of compliances 13th. Okay, we have to remember the word the verification of compliances of 13th. Okay, and it's combined with appendix certifications. And part 2 is the next one, certificate documents required to be carried on board, and next list of resolution adopted by the SOLAS conferences. SOLAS does not apply to the ships of war, not propelled by mechanical means, wooden ship, fishing vessels. Okay, bhai. So additional mastery as first bulk carriers, basic at 14 has a total of 14 regulations which is structure standard, damage stability requirement for bulk carrier. Also explains the survey and maintenance of bulk carrier. Survey and maintenance of the bulk carriers. Survey and maintenance of the bulk carrier also provide a regulation for water ingress alarms for hold, ballast and tire spaces and ability of pumping system for these areas. Bulk carrier 150 above and more than 1780, 150 loading gator, 150 loading gator. Hold, ballast and tire must be water ingress alarms. Okay, so safe mooring or additional requirement to selection and inspection, maintenance and replacement of mooring equipment including lines documented regarding to the designs of mooring arrangements and the section elections of mooring equipment will be required to be provided and kept on board. Modernization of global maritime distress and safety system, use of generalized terms for GMDSS technologies, the requirement for SART, AISART and two-way VHF radio telephony apparatus is now forming a part of SOLAS chapter 4, the removal of NBDP, watertight integrity amendments to SOLAS. Okay, what did I do? What is SOLAS? What did I do on mechanical power and all this? So यहाँ से स्टार्ट करते हैं. अमेंडमेंट्स वापस से वैसे भी करना ही है, सो नो इशू. Chapter 9 of SOLAS revises into critical aspects of manning the safe operation of the ships. So into the critical how managing the safe operation by establishing a framework basically promote culture of safety on board vessels, ensuring that all aspects of ships operation, including navigation, communication, equipment response are conducted in a manner that minimizes the risk to human property and the environment. Ship owners and operators are mandated to develop comprehensive SMS tailored to their specific operations, which involve identifying potential hazards, implementing appropriate measures to mitigate risk, providing adequate training for crew members, and continually evaluating and improving the safety performance by emphasizing proactive risk management and fostering a safety conscious environment. Chapter 9 aims to enhance the overall safety and reliability of the maritime transporting worldwide. Polar Code is nothing but uh, mandatory under both the international convention on the safety and the Polar Code covers the training, search and rescue and protection, construction, equipment design, and the matter relevant to the ships operating in international waters surrounding the two poles. And it फर्स्ट जनवरी 2000 अच्छा 2017 की छूट यहाँ पे हैं ये. The Polar Code is under cover the full range of shipping related to matters relevant to navigation in water surrounding the two pole ship design, construction, equipment, operational and training, concerns, search and rescue, and equally important the protection of the unique environment and ecosystem of the polar regions. The code will require the ships intending to operate in defined levels of water area of the Antarctic and Arctic to apply for a polar ship certificate, which would classify the vessel as category A ship designed for operation in polar waters, at least in medium ships first year ice, which may include old ice inclusions. Category B ships are not including category A designed for operation in polar water at least thin first category C option is ship designed to operate in open water or an ice condition less severe than those included in category A and B. So this is all about. So master list is basically comprises of all the general emergency alarm and the method of PA systems and passengers. Master with the order to emergency will be given this. Okay. The rest is very easy. Now coming to the chapters. Chapter 5, we have to remember the emergency occupational safety, security, medical care and survival functions. Emergency occupational safety, security and medical. Emergency occupational safety, medical security, medical care and survival functions. Special training required for personnel of certain type of ships. Radio communication, radio operators. Emergency occupational safety, security, medical care and survival functions. Emergency occupational safety, security, medical care and survival functions. Emergency occupational security, medical care and survival functions. And survival functions. Special requirements for personal and certain emergency occupational safety, security, medical care and survival